Good morning, guys, and welcome to Tuesday's FRT Gold live video. Hope you're all doing well and that your Monday was bearable and now you can enjoy the rest of the week. Plenty of action taking place today in terms of horse racing. 5 meetings in total. We're racing from Brighton, from Beverley, from Newbury, and Newton Abbot as well on the over the jump, and there's Ballinrobe in Ireland as well. So 5 meetings, should be a decent day of action. Bit of jumps and a bit of the flat, of course, the flat taking centre stage. As always at this time of the year, good to see that we've got, good or good to firm ground across most of the meetings as well. I'm feeling really confident that we can turn around what was a disappointing day yesterday. Hopefully we can not build on that, but turn that form around. Yesterday, a couple of seconds with the premium tip and the next best bet, really frustrating. The premium tip actually going into the home straight, I don't think I could have been too much more confident. I think the horse was in front, as you'd expect, and was starting just to sort of go away coming up to the home straight, but just couldn't, really extend that lead, and ended up being just sort of pinched on the line, or was pinched on the line really, and was beaten by neck, which was really frustrating, especially as the horse had been backed from 13 to 8 into 5 to 6. But that's just the way it goes sometimes, unfortunately. Hopefully we can turn that premium tip form around today. I'm actually feeling really confident today. We've got some really good odds, some juicy odds, and hopefully some overpriced horses to look at today. So feeling confident, and hopefully we can have a good day. Remember, this is a Q&A session if you did want to join in that. If you've got any questions that you'd like to ask me, then do join in this Q&A, or if you maybe not watching the video live or you haven't quite got the time, if you've got any questions, if you'd like any extra tips, if you're off to a race meeting in a couple of days and you want me to take a look at a card for you, if there's a general horse racing query, a general betting query, or something completely left field that you want to ask, then please do feel free. I'm always around and will do my very best to answer any questions to the best of my ability. So you can join in this Q&A, or you can email joe@freeracingtips.co.uk. Get in touch via Twitter with the handle at freeracingtips7, and then it's facebook.com/groups/FRT Gold, so you can certainly get involved that way as well. So plenty for us to go through here. We'll go through the premium tip, the next best bet. We're going to start going through the Little Learner as well, because they've actually picked up form recently, and I think it's good to bring them back into gold. And then we'll also look at the 2 horses, completing the Lucky 15, and then possibly just a couple of bits of news depending on how we go and how much time we've got. But feel free to get any questions in, but we'll start off as always by looking at the premium tip today, and that goes in the 4:30 at Brighton, and our tip here is Kakapuka at 7-2. Now, this horse could be given a fairly easy lead, I think, this race, and that could play right into his strengths, and he might be tough to peg back if that does happen. We'll absolutely love the ground at Brighton today. It's good to firm in places, I think, so really quick ground, and I think the favourite Ocean Legend is off quite a high mark, and also has only ever won on good ground or on the all-weather. The all-weather doesn't always mean that the horse likes good to firm ground. So I think the favourite's worth taking on in this one, and I really do like the look of Kakapuka. I think 7-2 is a really valuable price for a horse that's won off a much higher mark than what he is today. It's won in the 70s and is in the 60s today, I believe. Looks to be a great opportunity for the horse to get his nose in front. And as I say, 7-2 looks to be really good value, I think, for this horse. That 7-2 available at Bet365 right now. And I think everything seems to be in this horse's favour at the moment. Looks to be fairly well handicapped. We'll love the ground. We'll love the trip. Shooting the Brighton course as well, and could be that the horse is run to his strengths and that he's able to go off in the lead fairly early. And I'm certainly I feel like taking on Ocean Legend. I think a horse that is no doubt strong and possibly the one to beat on true form, but could potentially be a little bit high in the handicap, and maybe at 9 years old I don't think this horse is improving, and I'm not sure if he'll enjoy this ground too much. So premium tip I'm feeling good about today. That's in the 4:30 at Brighton, and a 4-point win only bet on Kakapuka at 7-2. The next best bet today, that also goes at Brighton, but in the 2:30 at Brighton, and it's Secret Millionaire and this horse currently at 2-1. That's from 9-4 first thing this morning. Luke Morris is the man on board this horse, and I always think he's a jockey to side with in these types of races. I think he's actually got quite a decent strike rate at Brighton, and yeah, looks to be certainly a jockey that can get the best out of this horse. Was close in better company actually at Goodwood last time out. This is a weaker race and was only a length or so behind in that race when finishing in third, and I think could have enough to take this one. Another who will love this ground, loves it quick, and that's certainly what it is at Brighton today, some of the quickest ground in the country, and really does look to be the one to beat. I think looks to be a good bet, and yeah, 9-4 good value. Currently at 2-1. I wouldn't be surprised to see it go off, maybe at around the 7-4, possibly 6-4 mark. I think this horse will be fairly well backed. I think that's another that ticks plenty of boxes, and yeah, feeling really good that that's a really good premium tip and next best bet double today at really juicy odds as well. So yeah, hopefully that can do the business. The premium tip, the 4:30 at Brighton, Kakapuka. The next best bet in the 2:30 at Brighton, Secret Millionaire, and they're at 7-2 and 2-1 respectively. Right, as always, we've got the other two horses to look at today that do actually make up the lucky 15. If you want us to do a lucky 15, remember total stakes of around about the 2-point mark until you get to, if you go by £10 stakes, I wouldn't suggest putting as much as £20 on lucky 15. I think the maximum to put on is always £15, which is £1 stakes. But yeah, the lucky 15 today, we have Glebe Spirit in the, of course, we've got the premium tip and the next best bet, and then it's Glebe Spirit in the 8 o'clock at Newbury at 7-2, and then Nether Storm in the 8:45 at Newton Abbot at 5-1. Put all these together and the potential returns from £1 stakes around about the £720 marks at the moment. Nether Storm's race has been blown up into a wide open betting heat, and the horse is taking a little bit of a drift, but I think that's more a bit of money coming for others rather than, this horse really isn't fancied, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him back at that kind of price. Looks to be a really juicy price. But yeah, that's the lucky 15s for today if you put them with the premium tip and the next best bet. If you're not a fan of lucky 15s, or you simply just don't want to do one today, but you do fancy doing, these two horses, then do just whack them as 1 point win only single bets. And yeah, that can be the way to go. So you can have 4 points for the premium tip, 3 points lucky 15, and then 1 point win only bets for the other two horses, or a total of 2 points making up the lucky 15. That's your call and what you'd prefer. Going to mention a little earner, as I said today, and that goes in the 9:05 at Newbury, and we're on Roy's Legacy here. Now, Gold members last night got this horse at got this horse at 16-1. You got Roy's Legacy yesterday, and it was 14-1 then first thing this morning. So it's already, as Gold members, you got some really good value there. And now the horse that, right, there's been no non-runners in this race. There's no rule 4 or anything. This horse, Roy's Legacy, is now best priced at around about 7-1. So it's been backed and backed and backed, nearly half the odds, or more than half the odds. If you got that 16-1 last night, this horse another who'll love the ground. A really disappointing run last time out, but that came on good to soft. It's currently good at Newbury, but you would imagine with a dry day forecast and this race not going off till 9:05, we could be looking at some good to firm ground, or at least good to firm in places by the time the race goes off. And that's the kind of ground that this horse will absolutely love. As I say, being backed and backed heavily at that, to be honest. Yeah, 7-1, the best price you can get. I'll just check that there has to be even more market support, so it wouldn't surprise me, because every time I've looked, the horse has just gone down in price. So there could be even more money coming for this horse. We'll just take a quick look if we can. But yeah, really good. It's always good to see, of course, that a horse is being backed like that, especially as a Gold member. When you got 16-1 last night, that's looking like an absolute steal at the moment. You never know. Sometimes these markets can happen, and then all of a sudden the horse goes too short in the betting, which can happen quite a lot. And then all of a sudden you'll see a drift happen later on in the day, and with 10 hours or so until this race goes off, plenty can change in the market, and it could go off as short as 4-1 or something like that, but it could go right back out to 16s again. You never quite know how the market's going to go, but certainly all the signs are good at the moment with this horse being backed. So they're all of today's tips. They're the 5 horses that we're giving out for today. You know, you can get on all of them, you can get on one of them, you can get on none of them if you don't fancy them. And you know, do message me if you do. If there are any other horses that you fancy today that you'd like my opinion on, that's absolutely fine. That's what Gold is all about. Just a couple of bits of news. Trev, who of course was a little bit of a disappointment, unfortunately, at Royal Ascot, but it was quite obvious when the filly was actually going down to post that something wasn't quite right, she's moving quite right, and she did have a bit of an injury. But trainers and connections, she's gone back to France and have said that she's actually the injury isn't too serious, and the plan now is very much to try and retain her Arc crown. Of course, she won the Arc in quite stunning fashion last year, and although that race isn't until October, I think that's the main aim now, and I think she'll probably head straight to the Arc and be trained for that day. Glorious Goodwood, of course, just around about sort of 5 or 6 weeks or so away. Going to be an excellent week there as always. But Brown Panther is going for the Goodwood Cup again. Of course, ran a really good race in the Gold Cup at Royal Ascot, finishing in 4th position and showing that he is a top class horse. He'll go for the Goodwood Cup and might just be one to side with. And we'll take a look at sort of the anti-post markets for Goodwood or so in the next couple of weeks. We'll try and analyse some of them, and then of course in the run up to it. But that is the next big festival, you'd say. Really looking forward to that. But for now, let's focus on today. Should be another good day's racing. Any questions, let me know. As I say, I'm feeling good about today. Juicy price horses up, and it looked as though we could have been, you know, ones to spot a bit of a game on without knowing on in the shape of Roy's Legacy. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video. There'll be one once again tomorrow at 11 AM, and as always, as the week goes on, the videos will be busier and the racing will get better. But thanks for watching today. Speak to you all a little bit later on, and bye-bye.